What is going on, everybody? Anon here, and we're going to talk Ascended Heroes tonight. And I was pretty vocal when this first came out about there being a lot of product, and I am getting a lot of product. I am getting an astronomical amount of product. I don't know if it's because I've diversified across all my distributors, if I just got lucky, if for whatever reason, not trashing my distributors on camera or something or other has had an impact. I don't know. But as time's passed and the two packs were delayed, and I start to see some of the FOMO coming, there's a ton of product coming, but it's not coming for a long time. And I want to walk through just a rough estimate of what the pack counts are. And I didn't put this in Excel because, quite honestly, I don't want anybody to take a screen grab of it. You got to listen to it or you're out of luck. But this is really in talking to all of my distributors at this point. I think, I feel like I have a good amount of information with the three big ones, two of the smaller ones, a couple I don't have a whole lot of intel on. I just kind of ballpark based on best guess. But the three big ones and two of the smaller ones, I have a high degree of certainty within 1,000 units how many they're getting on wave 1 and wave 2. Now, unless everybody and their brother's lying to me, and they've been lying to me consistently for the last, call it 7 sets, it's relatively straightforward. If you're willing to do the work, you're willing to take notes, ask questions, be persistent, to get an idea of what the total population of the amount of product coming to market is. So, for example, Destined Rivals, Mega Evolutions 1, Mega Evolutions 2, the total number of booster displays that have gone through distribution is somewhere around 600,000 units. And it's been that way really going back to Surging Sparks. Now, obviously, they ramped up for Journey. They ramped up again for Destin. They ramped up a third time for Mega 1, Mega 2. Looks like Perfect Order is going to take a slight step backwards for whatever reason. But I think a lot of folks out there, they grossly overestimate the amount of product that goes through distribution, because quite honestly, it's not that much. 600,000 booster displays, 625,000 booster displays. It's such a rounding error in the grand scheme of things. It's just, this is why we're seeing in a hot market like this, boxes opening at $300, $275, and going straight up. And, at 600,000 booster displays, it works out to somewhere around 21, 22 million total packs in the market, which obviously takes a lot of time to work through rip and ship. That brings us to the unique situation we're currently in, where we are not getting a whole lot of product. We're not getting a whole lot of packs. And the you-know-what is about to hit the fan. So before I start, I want to take a look at TCG Player here. And the market prices on TCG Player have been so pathetically bad. Nothing's updating timely. It's so weird. Everything's low. Everything's lagging. But either way, so we have the 3-pack stickers here. I have no idea why the Charmander is selling for 57 when the Ghastly was selling for, I think, 40 last time. Well, now they're 55. So somebody came and bought them out. People got smart. So you're basically looking at $18 pack, $17 pack. And if you look at the individual booster packs, there's one seller. I can't tell you the last time I've seen one seller of packs on TCG Player. This is going to get eviscerated in 3 seconds. It's insane. So I think I've mentioned you guys, the distributors I use: Magazine Exchange, MedOut, ACD, GTS, PhD, Southern, and Alliance. Obviously, Alliance is going through a transition with Universal, so it remains to be seen, kind of what their MO is and the rules of engagement there. But I have a good idea of how everybody operates at this point. And when it comes to the 3-pack stickers for Wave 1, by my best guess, there's about 450,000 units coming to market through distribution. That's not cases. That is single 3-pack blisters. So you're talking 1.35 million packs for the first 30 days, 20 days, full stop. That's it. That should scare the living crap out of everybody who is looking for something that is reasonably priced. Now, the good news is there's probably at least that much product going through big box stores, through your Walmarts, through your Amazons, through your Targets. I have zero visibility into how much MJ Holdings gets, how much Excel gets. I just don't know. The best information I get is the quantities on the Walmart sales. You're obviously able to scrape the website, so you can see how many hundreds of thousands of units that they're selling and they're going through. But again, my best guess is big box is probably equal to that. So let's just say there's 2.7 million packs coming out for the first 20 days when the hype is at its highest. I can only imagine how quickly it's going to disappear. And it's going to turn into just an absolute epic, complete disaster. So let's move to February 20th. I don't know what's going to happen with pack prices. All I know is if you own the product, on day one, you're better off not selling than selling, and don't open it. Unless you have a serious gambling problem or you really love Pokemon, you're just going to light money on fire. But that's my personal opinion. So moving on to the 20th, the 2-pack blisters, there's not a lot of. I'm not going to lie. I probably got 10% of the 2-pack blisters than I got of the 3-pack blisters. So I just assume that's a rounding error when it comes to the number of packs going through distribution. Again, through big box, I don't know. Mini tins, similar deal. There might be 20,000 mini tins coming out, displays, that is. So, 200,000 packs, 400,000 packs, whatever the math works out to, in a really clunky and inefficient way. But that brings us to the big daddy here. And this is a number that I've done a lot of work on. And again, there's 2 or 3 random distributors, Gold River, Great American. I think they're in New York. There's one in Illinois. I don't have any insight into those guys. I don't know how much they get. I think they're more sports cards. I know a couple people that have accounts with them. But quite honestly, I don't think they're getting a lot. I can't imagine they're getting more than a couple thousand booster displays during release. But again, I could be totally wrong. Total number of ETBs in Wave 1, based on my math, is approximately 325 to 350,000. Now, again, that's outside of big box stores. Add the zero, you're talking about 3.25 million to 3.5 million packs. And that's assuming that every single pack comes to market. And there aren't a bunch of people that grab them and put them on shelves, which we know is going to happen, which is going to just exacerbate the shortage and the amount of product coming into the market. Again, if this doesn't scare the crap out of you, it should. Now, I was talking to one of my distributors today, and he's like, hey, I have good news. We got Wave 2 in Friday. I'm like, hell yeah, let's go with the 3-pack stickers. And he's like, no, it is the Pokemon Day packs. So my excitement went from hell yeah to I don't care. So we still have no idea when the second wave of the 3-packs are going to come. If it's anything like the last couple releases, it hasn't been the 3 weeks that we've been communicated to. It's been closer to 6 weeks, which again should scare the crap out of people. And if that's the case, we're not going to get the second wave of ETBs until tax day, best case, coming with the booster bundles. So coming in between these items, and I do want to look at, so the poster collection, this is interesting because this is the one item that comes out in March that has 8 packs in. And there are a good amount of these. By my guess, there's probably about as many poster collections as ETBs coming out, maybe a little bit more when we talk about total magnitude. So there's a good amount of these coming out in March. But again, the burn rate of these packs, it's just so astronomically high. I wish I had my pack destruction tracker up and running in in my EV engine, I could actually go there and walk through what the pack destruction looks like for the individual sets, so we can kind of benchmark what we think this is going to look like to what sets have looked like in the past. But I will tell you, Prismatic Evolutions, just cards being graded in the first month was over 3 million packs ripped. And I'm sure I am understating that probably by 2x, because that was a full release of ETBs. That was not a waived release per unit. Obviously, you had different SKUs coming out a little bit later, booster bundles, surprise boxes, etc. So we effectively have a quarter to a tenth of the amount of product at release that Prismatic Evolutions had. And those booster packs were pushing 12, 13 bucks. The ETBs were 130, 150 at release. This is going to get real ugly real fast. And, it's just the unfortunate nature of having things delayed and having waves come out. I mean, if we got 750,000 ETBs on the 20th of February, we probably wouldn't have a problem. Now, it wouldn't be cheap, but I don't think we would have a problem, quite honestly. But then again, you have your poster collections, you have 8 packs, you're probably rolling another 2.4 million, 2.4 to 3.2 million packs in from the poster collections. And people are going to rip these. They're a lot less of a collectible per se. But by the middle of March, end of March, March 20th, whatever it is, this thing could be so out of hand, so out of control. I don't even know if there's going to be a reasonable way to reel it in, because the price discovery and the price expectation of these things, it's going to be so grossly overstated. I just don't know how you're going to reel it in. And then, also, the week after the 20th, 3/27, you have Perfect Order. So in the middle of this hype, you have a set that looks like it's a little bit on the weekend coming out. I'm so excited for that, because this is your opportunity, if you have distribution, to get ahead, because people are going to have to choose. Do they want Ascended Heroes? Do they want Perfect Order? The world is going to want Ascended Heroes. That's where all the money's going to be, which means if you can do both, you have an opportunity to get way ahead spend-wise. But then you fast forward to, the 26th of April? 24th of April, before we get the booster bundles. So, and then you're talking reprints. There's going to be a ton of booster bundles. There's going to be a ton of packs with that. But until the booster bundles come, these prices are going to be so inflated, because the market's going to shred the product. The first wave of ETBs are going to get thrown on shelves and not opened, and effectively never show up in circulation. And then you get the EX boxes that everybody's going to rip, but they're too big to matter in size, because it's just, you can't fit that many on a pallet. It's going to get ugly. It really is. And I was thinking through all the different mechanics here, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's see if we can calculate the number of packs. So just a quick recap. In this first wave, again, this is distribution only, there's approximately 1.35 million packs coming to market. Wave 2, I'm not going to pay any attention. I mean, the tins could be 400,000 packs. Not a big deal there. The 2 packs, it doesn't even count. It's not even worth talking about. And then the ETBs is going to be, somewhere around 3.25 and 3.5 million packs for ETBs. But again, there's probably 25% of those that are going right on the shelf. So this is going to get crazy. It's just the world we live in. If you have the product, the longer you hold the product up until probably the end of March, the better off you're going to be, because the price isn't going to go anywhere but up. And oh, by the way, the cards in the set, they're astronomical. Yeah, there's so many good cards. The Gengar Chase, you have all the what is it, battle cards, whatever the hell you call them, with the Japanese text on that. We don't even know what the odds are. quite yet. I'm sure if I Google, I can find them. And then you have Dragonite, you have two different Pikachu's. Yeah, it just goes on and on. There's like 14 different chase cards. It's gonna be nuts. And it's gonna be expensive. So anyway, guys, just want to share a little bit of knowledge here, just kind of some back of the napkin math that I do when I kind of walk through my market strategy here. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord. Have a good night.